This video is going to go over the last minute prep that you can do in Destiny 2 before Heresy launches. This is not going to be a standard stock prep video. There's going to be some tidbits of advanced information in this. A disclaimer is nobody needs to prep at all if you don't want to, but if you do prep, it will give you an extra edge for the first 3 days of D2. It absolutely will. I've seen too many day one seasons where people have prepped and some people haven't, and whoever has prepped always is a mile ahead the person that didn't. It's just the nature of how aggressive it can be for the first week of a season. And I'll go more into why you should be prepping it. Remember, I have prepped for Destiny expansions since 2015, so I have a very good idea of what you should prep for and what you shouldn't. And if you haven't done any prep at all, the chances are some of these things on the list you can't do, you won't have the time for. But there's some things you definitely do have time for, and it's rules and stuff like that. You definitely have time to log on for 20 minutes and check a rule of a gun. You absolutely can do that. Okay, so let's do it step by step. Step one is to do, obviously, bounty prep. Now, remember to note, quest and bounty are in the same slot. So delete all quests that you don't need. Get them out of that inventory slot. Get them out of there, right? So that you can have more bounties to have more XP yield. Also, weekly bounties offer the most XP, with a weekly being at XP++, a daily being at XP+, and a repeatable style bounty saying just XP. For example, I've got this bounty here that I need to delete, and I'll replace it with a daily or maybe even a weekly, if I can be bothered. But yeah, they yield the most XP. I would say don't worry if you don't get that many weeklies done. Just try and aim for 63 bounties done per character. And you can do approximately 63 bounties in about 2 to 3 hours. That's including weeklies. It depends on what weeklies you choose. For example, the Vex Incursion Countermeasures weekly takes ages. It's just a long bounty. I only done it a few times. I didn't do it on my own other characters. I ended up maybe forcing myself to do it. I hate this bounty, but it is what it is. The Moon one's good as a weekly. Cosmodrone's always good. Dreaming City's great. If you're a player that done a 2-month in advance preparation for Heresy, fair play to you, because you can do that. You can triple, quadruple Ascendant Challenge stack bounties, but you can only pick one up a week, but you can duplicate the bounty. It's been a thing for a while now. I just thought I would mention it. I didn't have it in me to do that, but you could have done that, and I guess some players have done that. The Clan Weekly is also good as well. That's going to do it, right? So you can get 189 bounties total. I'm going to tell you an educated guess. That will give you half of your artifact leveled up day one. This is why prepping the bounties, although it's dumb and it shouldn't be a mechanic in the game, it is. Destiny, Bungie has never nerfed this, and they have no intentions to do it. They allow people to do this, I guess, because it keeps the numbers up just at the end of a season, so they're allowing players to do it. So I'm saying, look, a person who is prepped will be a mile ahead of a person that hasn't. I know this because I have had seasons where I have not prepped and I've been behind on the artifact mods, and then other seasons where I have prepped, I've been a mile ahead of everybody. As in, like, one of the first people to level up an artifact fully, day one, day two, day one stroke day two. So if you play hard this week and you've done bounty prep, you will level your artifact up into probably day 2 to day 3, depending on how hard you go. But if you just hand in the bounties, you'll get halfway, you'll get to column 3. So it's huge, right? That's why it's so important. And the mods will be important for Dungeon on Friday. So you've technically got a 2 to 3 day grind, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday it launches. So you've only got that small time to level that artifact up. So having bounties now makes the dungeon easier. It will make Sundred Doctrine easier day one. Also, pick up any of these, because you can't pick them up you can't pick them up tomorrow. These will all be gone forever. You can't pick them up. Okay, so that's XP done. Remember, when you're playing next week, you're going to want to farm XP as well. A good way of doing that without picking up bounties is to do Pathfinder. You can do Pathfinder rotations over and over and over and over. This season I was doing solo GMs over and over and over, and I kept getting my Pathfinder reset to the point where I was resetting my Pathfinder for every 1 to 2 strikes. It's incredible. So Pathfinder has huge buff. Make sure that you utilize Pathfinder in Heresy because it's going to give you huge XP gains. They buffed it. It's huge now, the amount of XP that they give you. Alright, that's XP done. Let's go over to materials now. Alright, you want a max stack of Ascendant Shards, a max stack of Ascendant Alloys, you want a max stack of Glimmer, and you want probably plenty of Strange Coins. You should be rolling, PvE players should be rolling in Ascendant Alloys and Ascendant Shards. It's just a ritual that you should do at the back end of any season, but it ain't going to make that much of a difference. I will say though, GMs are not available at the start of a season, so it's a little bit harder to get Ascendant Shards. So having a max stack of 30 Shards on week 1 is actually a good thing. Ascendant Alloys is good because if there's any of those new crafts, you can quickly apply. I could craft a good amount of weapons right now. I could craft 15, 16 weapons right now. If there was there won't be, but say there was, I could do that. I'm just saying that stack on your Ascendant Alloys. Okay, so Exotic Ciphers, it's advices for 2 different styles of players. There's Veterans and then there's New Lights. New Lights, make sure you've got plenty of Exotic Ciphers so that you can quickly get any new exotics that you need. I believe some of the new exotics you need to spend a cipher to get them. And it allows you to focus new exotics. It allows you to focus exotics as well. For veteran players, you want to keep them. I'll tell you why. Because if there's any secret metas next week and it's an exotic that you've never used before, but you are going to be using it, you can quickly spend a cipher on it. Say, for example, Capri's Horn is a meta. It won't be, but say it was. You can quickly go in there and spend that cipher. Like Insurmountable Skullfort, I can quickly spend that cipher. I've got 5 in my back pocket. This is why you want the 5 stack of ciphers, which you can pick up via the Season Pass. Okay? So you can actually pick them up. Here's why you shouldn't, though, if you can allow yourself not to. The reason why you want to save them is there's a way of stockpiling ciphers from the old from old seasons. If you use the mod Season Pass, a Firefox add-on mod for PC, you can access old seasonal gear and old pickups. So what I'm saying to you is if you can do a farm of 5 exotic ciphers quickly, which you can. I done it yesterday. I popped a tonic of exotic ciphers and I got 4 exotic ciphers in 60 minutes. So I'm saying that maybe do a quick rotation of that if you've not got ciphers, because it's always nice to have in your back pocket. Okay, so that's the materials. Make sure you got Glimmer, because the reason why Glimmer is important is because repeatable bounties are 3k per bounty bop, whereas dailies are only 250. But when you exhaust weeklies and dailies day 1, what PvE players do if they want to stick on that character is they do a repeatable bounty rotation. And the repeatable bounty rotation, you need to listen carefully to this because this is very particular information. You go to Disgraced and you do, once all bounties are exhausted, you do repeatable bounties over and over and over with Gunsmith and Cosmodrome bounties to do that in a solo server instance in the Disgraced, and you can level up your Season Pass quicker if that is your ultimate goal. I've done this seasons upon seasons in the past. If you want to target farm XP, this is a way to do it via the Disgraced, but you need to do a solo server instance. If I see people listening to the video and they ask me how to do that, I'll tell you how to do it, but I've told you many, many times over the years on how to do it. I've probably told you 69 times at this point on how to do a solo server, and PC players and Xbox players can also do the solo server. They just need to know how to. Right. That's sorted. That's why you want Glimmer. You really will go through Glimmer quickly. You'll be surprised. Check your spoils. Right? So he's the next thing that we come on to. Obviously, you check your spoils. If you want to do it, you can. If you have nothing to spend Bento tokens on, it's a quick spend. Just go and get 3 stacks of Spoils of Conquest. May as well. Another thing, if you're lazy on the cipher farming, quickly go and buy them. There's no limit. Don't be buying ciphers on these, though, unless you really, really haven't got anything to spend on. New Lights, if you don't have Artifice class items, go and pick them up. The reason why is because they've got no roll. So my Artifice class item is the same as yours. If you don't own them, go and spend. I don't need to buy these. I've got loads of Artifice class items on all classes. I've had them for years because Artifice Armor system came out 2021. It came out years ago, man. I've got loads of Artifice Armor. Don't buy the rolls, they're no good. Don't buy them. Only a class item per character, one per character. There you go. Okay, buy Ignis Hammer if you're gonna be playing PvP in the future, because obviously Trials of Osiris reworks. I bought it just in case I need the gun. Buy Riptide if you've not got a chill clip. Horror's Least, I don't recommend it. I do recommend buying Cataphract GL3, you may as well. But you're going to shout at the video and say, wicked sister, and I'm going to say back to you, calm down, son. I've got the wicked sister information coming up. It is a strand heavy GL Cataphract, and it's a trials weapon. This is a trials weapon. Wicked Sister's not a trials weapon. It's a vanguard weapon, which means what, people? It means a different origin trait. Don't be so silly to think that Envious Arsenal and Envious Assassin will always be super OP in the game. At some point, sometime, they will nerf these traits. I've seen it time and time again. For example, if they nerf Envious Arsenal, but they don't nerf Envious Assassin, that will make Envious Assassin better than Envious Arsenal. I'm just future-proofing yourselves. Now, you can get Envious Assassin on Wicked Sister as well. I just think that I've picked this up anyways, purely for the origin trait, which I know it's a bit of a non-factor because you reload anyways with Envious Assassin. I'm just saying that, look, I like the gun. It's golden. I'm going to pick it up. I'll talk about the Wicked Sister coming up. So that's your Bento tokens done. So now we need to go to the tower. Right, now this is going to be a lot of information. So I'm going to tell you vendor by vendor what to do, because that's the only really good way I think of doing this, because there is quite a bit of information about it. See, here's what you need to think. Vendor engrams reset season upon season. They don't refresh per act. They reset per season. And there's no good way of telling this in the game. The only reason why we know is because of Reddit and because it's happened in the past. So you need to go hand in a load of engrams. So I'm going to give you advices vendor per vendor for rolls. Now this is where it gets really important and where people really do need to listen. Because if you don't, you're going to be without a roll for next week. And then when I use it in a solo and you're like, I haven't got that roll, I'm going to say, well, I told you so. What can I do? I can only tell you what I know. You've got to listen to it. You've got to listen to it. Now, Rahool has engrams. I mean, I couldn't be bothered handing them in. These. Right? I couldn't be bothered because it gives trash loot. I'm just saying that it's there. This track will reset. Now then, let's talk about exotic engrams. Right? I don't think I've got any in the Postmaster. Exotic engrams, you may as well save them. The reason being is because it will give you Rahool reputation. You will level up Rahool on engram pop. You may as well keep them, but here's the kicker. You don't need to have that many exotic engrams because guess what? There's no new exotics. So veteran players, don't worry about exotic engrams too much because there is no new exotics. There's no new exotic armor next week. It's a shame. There isn't. But at the very least, you can get Rahool reputation right away if you need it. Or for whatever reason, you might be missing one exotic. I don't know. I can't tell everybody's account. Okay, but I'm just saying, look, you can focus engrams. You know, say for example, you need to focus Capri's Horn and it is a meta. I don't think it will be, but say it was. You can quickly go and do that. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm on about. That's why you should have exotic engrams in your back pocket, but it's not make or break. Let's go to the next vendor. Next vendor, Banshee. Okay, so Banshee, this is where you want to do some focusing. Okay. Right, now let's think about what a new player would need. Is this the focusing page? Yeah, it is. First and foremost, it depends on how you feel, but focus for an oven drill. Okay, so I've done just that. And look at the roll I got. Reconstruction chill clip. See what I'm saying? It's kind of worth. Oven drill's a very good fusion. It's a different style of fusion to Riptide, and it's different to Deliverance as well. But I'm just saying that this roll's quite unique, you know. So maybe focus some oven drills as well, because it ain't a bad thing having more chill clip weapons, because we're in a chill clip meta basically for champions. So yeah, I think that's definitely a focus. Right now, what else is a focus? I mean, Typhon's all right. I don't think so. I think you're all in on that oven drill. Armit's craftable. The sniper is random. The pulse rifle, we're not using pulse rifles next season. This sidearm's trash. I've already looked at it. So yeah, this weapon's good. Battle Scar with kinetic tremors. Try and get that. Truth Teller, blinding nades is good. This shotgun's good if you get 1-2 punch on it. But really, there's nothing else. Combat Action's a decent hand cannon, but there's better hand cannons than this. So yeah, focus oven drill. That is the key weapon I see from Gunsmith to focus your engrams on. Right, let's go to the next one. Let's go to Crucible. Okay, so for Crucible, I haven't got any engrams to focus because I don't play PvP. Randy's is a big one, but we're not using many scouts. But Randy's, if you can get good shot straight and kinetic tremors, it's one of the best scout rifles in the game. This weapon is notably good if you can get Volt Shot on it. So try and focus for an Anonymous Autumn. And this list here, so you want a Riptide with Chill Clip, that is your priority. Once you get that, you can move on to other weapons. There's not anything else that's like really OP from here, to be honest. It's just what I've mentioned. Like this sidearm's not that good. This SMG's not that good. The rocket, there's far better rockets than this. I think there's a good roll on this Frozen Orbit, but there's snipers that we can craft. So yeah, there's nothing else I can recommend from that for engram focusing. Vanguard is where it gets really interesting because there's a lot of focuses that you need to do, assuming that you've got a lot of engrams to spend. Okay, now I have most of the rolls that I needed because, you know, I just did. But let's just look. All right, so Undercurrent, you want some sort of Volt Shot roll on it. Undercurrent's not that good of a weapon. But it's there if you want to focus it. It's not meta defining. Aerodynal GLs are better than Waveframe GLs, and it doesn't look like Bungie's changing their stances on it. The reason why is because Aerodynal GLs are getting a mini buff with Full Court, and they're bringing a new Arc Aerodynal GL. I don't see Undercurrent getting used, so don't overspend on this, please. Uzume's a good little sniper. It's not like meta defining though, there's better snipers. Slammer, you need to get a good slammer. Alright, here we go, slammer, where we at? This is a fantastic role for GMs because Cold Stills technically stuns all champions. It doesn't stun barrier champions very well, but it stuns overloads and unstoppable champions very well. It's a very good speedrun type sword for solo GM or fire team GM because I've got Eager Edge and Cold Steel. You don't have to have Eager Edge, but it is very good on this sword. I'm just saying, look, Swordmaster's Guard definitely, and you want Jagged Edge. I don't know why I'm using it. I guess I'm using Hungry Edge because it's got more ammo for Eager Edge. But yeah, Jagged Edge or Hungry Edge, depending on where you go with it. Yeah, you need a slammer. So make sure that you prioritize a slammer. What else is there? Let's go back to it. Wild Style, it's not a good GL. There's loads of perks, but it's just not that good. Scintillation, I'll come to at the end of the video. So Scintillation, you need to focus a roll on Scintillation. I'll show you the rolls that I have. Shadow Price, it's not that good of a gun. Plug 1, it's a good gun, but I just don't get a roll on it. All you're looking for fusion rifles is Control Burst with a good reload perk. If you've got a arc fusion rifle like Loaded Question, use that one. I prefer Loaded Question than Plug 1, but if you've got a Plug 1 with Control Burst, use it. Focus a rake angle with Chill Clip. Overflow Chill Clip is what you're looking for. Ultimately, you need to get that mag size up high. You need it up higher. High as possible. Chill Clips works with a higher mag. Alright, any other guns? Origin Story is a fantastic auto rifle, but we're not getting any auto rifle mods next season. I don't know why. He's the kicker, Wicked Sister. For some reason, Wicked Sister is a one engram focus, and the rest of them are a 5 or a 3 with Glimmer. I don't know. Wicked Sister's getting sunset, I guess. So this is where you need 3 rolls for Wicked Sister. You need a Cascade Point roll. You need an Explosive Light roll. And you need a bait and switch roll. You know why you need all those rolls? Because they might nerf one or the other. So you need to cover your back as much as possible. So, for example, I've got an Envious Arsenal roll here with Explosive Light. I've got an Envious Arsenal roll with High Ground, because if we're ever against a boss where High Ground it does matter, then it's there. But High Ground isn't more damage than Bait and Switch, so I'm not recommending it. I'm just keeping it just in case. I've got an Envious Arsenal Cascade Point roll. Yes, Envious Arsenal plus Cascade Point. Like I've told you, you need a Cascade Point roll. I've got an auto-load and holster Bait and Switch roll. If they ever nerf Envious Arsenal, auto-load and holster will still work for us. I've also got an Envious Arsenal Bait and Switch roll with an option to swap to Cascade Point. In this perky one, I have a Spike Grenades or Mini Frags with a good velocity perk in here. Hard launch, generally. I've got auto-load and explosive. Auto-load and holster explosive, yeah. What else have I got? I've got auto-load and holster Cascade Point. I've got full court options. So I've covered all bases, you see what I'm saying? I've got another Envious Arsenal Bait and Switch roll with an option to swap to Field Prep if Envious Arsenal ever gets nerfed, ever, because I think it will sometime. Maybe Frontiers, they will nerf Envious Arsenal. I foresee it happening. That's just what I see for happening. So yeah, those are the ideas of types of rolls that you want on Wicked Sister. I've covered it all. Don't tell me I haven't covered it, because I have for the Wicked Sister. Alright, let's see what else there is on this. Don't focus armor. Okay, so these weapons, make sure you've got a good royal entry. I've already talked about that in the past. Field Prep Clown Cartridge is the roll. What else is there? Fortissimo is a very good slug shotgun. I've used this for some solo DPS requirements in the past. Make sure you got a good buzzard with kinetic tremors. You need a good buzzard with kinetic tremors. What else is there? Wendigo's outclassed by other GLs, but maybe try and get a good Wendigo if you want. Depends on how many engrams you've got left at this point. Yeah, there's not much else to talk about. Make sure you got a good Warden's Law always. Always make sure you got a decent Warden's Law to use. You know, Loaded Question. I'm a fan of Loaded Question. I like it better than Plug 1. It's just what I like. Maybe because it was a weapon I used to use in 2017. Probably has that meaning to it. Yeah, that's it. That's your Vanguard sorted. Scintillation Rolls will be at the end of the video. Right, let's go to the next vendor. We're going through the entire damn tower here. Look at this. We're ransacking the entire tower on our own. Who's this guy? Sailor Rig. Interesting name. Clan Engrams. There's Engrams to pick up the clan. You can't focus any Engrams. I'm not going to. I'm just saying that there's Engrams there. It gives you a choice of world loot pool weapons. We're missing them. I'm missing who I'm trying to talk about. Right, Zer. Here we go. So Zer, right? You just want to hand in your Engrams. Make sure that you pick up his buff. So you get a strange coin buff. I hired and picked it up on this character. It's character Pacific. It's not account wide, that. So you wanted to spend all your strange Engrams because he will reset as well. And essentially you get interest in old weapons. You can get Brigand's Law. I've tested it. You can get Brigand's Law. This weapon here is going to be a very good weapon tomorrow. You can get Brigand's Law or a chance from him at Zer. I got it before on my other character. Just spam his Engrams. Literally that's all that you do with him, and then pick up the strange coin buff. That's all that you do. Assuming that resets. I believe that it will. Same for Gambit. Now Gambit's going to be a little salty because ain't nobody playing Gambit. But if you do have some Engrams, I'll quickly tell you what you can get. Or what you can look at getting, I suppose. If we quickly get there. I mean, I didn't have many Engrams to spend. The only reason why I had Engrams to spend is because of the Bento token quest thingy. Whatever that was. So the focusing here. Hushes are interesting. They brought that back. Yeah, I know that this has a good roll on it, trust. So if you can try and get a good roll on it, it's there. There's a Strand Linear Laser Painter. I actually haven't looked at the rolls on this. Let me know if you're somebody who has a laser painter. The reason why a Strand Linear Fusion is important is because of Horde Shuttle tomorrow. There's some important Strand mods. So if you can get a good Strand Linear, then there's an option for you. I don't know what the rolls are on this. I haven't looked. Machine guns, nah, it's a bit off. Bygones is probably the best weapon you can get from this, because if you can get it with kinetic tremors, it's a fantastic weapon in PvE. Very, very good weapon, Bygones. So that's what I'm recommending with Gambit, if there was any such thing. There's some other weapons here. I'm not even going to go into this, because honestly, I don't think people are going to have Gambit engrams. I need to move swiftly on to the next bit. Okay, so there is going to be engrams at Edio. I recommend that you just leave them. Unless you need some weapons, just leave them. Because here's the thing. Tower engrams do reset. Seasonal engrams don't. So seasons are on a yearly cadence. So the first season, will the Helm stuff will still be there tomorrow. The Helm that I'm going to show you now. The Nessus Helm thing. So that's still going to be there. Idol will still be there. Right? All that stuff's not going away. They don't sunset that until Frontiers. So that means the engram counter will not reset. Okay? So that I believe, to the best of my knowledge, this is not going to reset. But if you want to spend some of them, here's what you can do. Focus some high particular armor that you want that you may be lacking on. For example, I'm lacking a strength build on my hunter because I deleted all the strength stuff from ages ago, Graviton forfeit build. So for example, I can do that. So you can focus some high stat armor. It does give good armor, by the way. It does give good armor. So if there's any stats you're lacking, I know that the armor's getting reworked in Frontiers. I know all about it. But I don't want to talk about that now in this run. Pick up any reds that you need. A Baron action needs to be picked up. It's the most important weapon of these guns. So make sure you pick it up. And, you know, Lost Signal, I guess, as well. Focus a Patron of Lost Causes with kinetic tremors on it. Focus a Line in the Sand with bait and switch on it. Some sort of bait and switch roll on there. But if you've got Scintillation, then it won't matter as much. But I will say that it is an arc LFR. Line in the Sand's quite good. Focus a Breachlight if you want a good and clear sidearm. And focus a Perfect Paradox. It's a fantastic shotgun, especially like on Banner of War Titans and stuff, or any melee-centric Titan. Perfect Paradox is so good. Martyr's Retribution's an okay wave frame, but it's not like anything to sing about. So those are the things that you can focus for and pick the reds up. But remember, these engrams are staying, so you don't have to like commit to that. It's the same thing with Ido. Like if you've got engrams at Ido, they're not going to go. So that's your information. Let's go finally to the Scintillation Rolls that I have kept. So I'm trying to think. I don't know what character my Scintillation Rolls are on. We're going to check on Hunter. Just let's see. Yeah, my Hunter's got them. Look, for example, I've got a Line in the Sand here, like I mentioned. I've got a rapid hit bait and switch one. All right. So Scintillation Rolls. I've got a rapid hit bait and switch roll with an option to switch to rewind rounds. I've got an Envious Assassin surrounded one just in case surrounded linear fusion rifles end up becoming a use with Envious Assassin, with also another option to swap to rewind rounds. I've got a rapid hit surrounded one here with Cornered for some reason. Just in case there's anything going on awkward with Cornered. You don't know. Probably that's why I've kept it. These are the stock loadouts. So Envious Assassin bait and switch is what everybody's going to want to use. Make sure that you've got this roll. What else have we got here? I've got another rapid hit bit. I think I've looked at that one, right? So yeah, I've looked at them all. There we go. So those are the Scintillation Rolls. Yeah, I'm not going to go too much into it. But yeah, a lot of people are saying about the Scintillation that that's going to be the difference maker because of the Horde Shuttle and stuff like that. Because it's a strand linear fusion and linear fusions are getting a buff. And because of particle reconstruction, etc. So I'll give you all the advices about Wicked Sister prep, Scintillation prep, XP prep, Pathfinder. Take a note of that next week. You are going to be leveling up from 2010 gear to 2020 gear. The pinnacle score will go up 10 levels. If you've done your bounty prep of 189 bounties, you will have your artifact level up halfway day one. So if you haven't done any bounty prep, you need to get going with it right now. If you've got your day off today and you're doing nothing else, you may as well go and prep. I know it's a dumb system. I know what it is. I've done it for years upon years upon years upon years. It should be just a level playing field every season, but it's not. It's not though, is it? It is what it is. It's the system that we're working with. So that is all of the preps that I recommend for Heresy. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.